All right, guys. It is time for Game 2 of iCast, your freaking awesome replays. And of course, guys, it is the unlikely couple challenge where we wanted you players to pair two units that no sane person would put together. We wanted your opponent, when they see your unit composition, to have their eyebrow raised at the very least, and maybe, hopefully, even tell you that you should not be dating that unit. You should, Marauder, you belong with a nice girl like a Medevac. If it's a boy, maybe a Marine. Maybe you could mix with a Hellion or a Hellbat. These are all good partners. You're compatible. You have the same values, the same culture. You shouldn't be dating a goddamn battlecruiser, Marauder. You shouldn't. We want people to think it's socially inappropriate. We want people to tell you you're living life wrong, that love won't be enough. There's too much of an age gap. There's too much of an upgrade gap. The bio upgrades don't help the fucking flying capital ship, plus ship weapons don't help them. That sort of shit. Let's see exactly what sort of fucked up couplings these players have brought in. In the top left, in the red, it is Sulogy. Like, how the fuck do I say that? Down here in the bottom right, let's see if he's in a nice tight ball of blue Terran in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. It is the Humble bundle. Humble. With two M's. Humble. All right. We'll see just how humble is. Of course, as always, these replays have been picked and selected by my finest moderators. And as a result, I have no idea which one of these players sent the replay in. Sometimes new people tune into their show. They say, that guy's not playing the challenge. Why would you select that replay? And the other guy sent it in. A lot of these games are just played on ladder. And I never know who actually sent the replay in. Because I enjoy a little thing called suspense. It makes the games more fun for me. To not know exactly what the fuck we're going to watch. I don't know what's going to happen. And we do actually see losses a fair bit. I really thought that last game was going to be a loss. If you haven't watched game 1, go back and check it out. We have got 3 games, of course. And this is the last Liquid Rain ICYFAR challenge. So prize money is on the line. Hang around if you're watching live to vote later on who's going to get some prize money. Remember to like the video if you enjoy it. And check out the entire Liquid Rain ICYFAR playlist linked below. And like the videos that are your favorite to vote for them, so they have a higher chance to win a whole pack of prize money, courtesy of Omamorki and his novel Liquid Rain. So thank you very much for hanging out, guys. If you do want to get your challenge in for next week, the next week's challenge is Diversity Hire, where you need to diversify into as many different units as possible. So not necessarily for effectiveness, but more for tokenism. I want you to go for fucking, like, I don't know, mass void rate and have a random sentry underneath. And you know what? You can use a guardian shield and it might actually help, even though you're going to forget to use it 100% of the time and it really is just there to watch and look cool. I want you to have a random Raven just fucking mixed into every army. I want there to be random Marines and Marauders added into your mech army for no fucking reason with no upgrades. Just add some shit in that's not meant to be there, you know? I want to see that single Hellmuffin waddling around the army going, I'm here to help, guys. And you're like, why have you got a single Swarm Host in your army? One Infester in your army? I don't fucking know. I want some tokenism with your unit compositions. I want you all to try and make out like you're a modern company that doesn't just hire people from your own family of rich bastards. Yeah, so get out your best replays, send them in to me, and be warned, ICYFAR date is moving. I'm going to have to keep going on about this for a few weeks because everyone's going to be really confused. We're going to start doing it on Sundays. So we are skipping next week because we've only got a few days till next week because we're moving it to the start of the week. It's going to be on Sunday, EU NA time. That's Monday morning. My first stream of the week at the start of the day for me is when we're going to be doing ICYFAR. That's just going to take the load off Eon Blue and the rest of the mod team. Looking at those replays, it's going to give them a little bit more free time so they don't have to organize it all in the middle of the week. So yeah, check it out, guys. Get your replays in. Show me your diversity hires. Looking forward to casting those. And I guess we're basically skipping half a week of the show and then we're resuming it again then. So get your replays in for that and we'll see how it goes. Ooh! That is a 3-landed Viking drop. That's 3 landed Vikings. I know my head's blocking it. You can see one of them. That's a fucking 3-land. Oh my god, it's double reacted starport. I have a boner, guys. I'm sorry. It's a very healthy boner, guys. This is not the sort of inappropriate boner you get when you see someone's like, oh, they're massing cannons and going carriers on 3 base. Like, that's the most vanilla, boring as fuck shit. No, this is a good reason to have a large, in-charge, full-mass big boy. Not going to drop on that? Okay, might go back and get it later. It's going to boost into the main. 3 Vikings. Remember, they do bonus mechanical damage. They massacre SCVs. They're going to start chasing that Reaper. A few SCVs going to go down. Uh-oh. Marines coming in. Actually, I think the Vikings might have been able to hold that choke point and actually kill them. But I like the idea of preserving the Vikings, rotating. That tank can't reach. It can only reach to the mineral line. Oh, man, these drilly boys having a tough time. Don't chase. Good micro here. Saligi doing nicely, adding an extra command center and going for ship weapons behind this. The Viking drop has already killed 6 SCVs, wasted a lot of mining time. That's actually a really good start, but there's a 3rd command center on the way, and that's a problem. I would have loved to see a single Viking drop to kill that. Yeah, when your command center at your natural's not finished and your opponent's already got their 3rd almost finished, like, as Saligi, this is cool. You've done some good damage, but you need a lot more, especially if you're still massing Vikings. Another medevac's on the way, getting ready for the next medevac Viking drop. On the plus side, the power of doing something like a landed Viking drop, guys, is that your opponent's brain will break. There's something that happens where most StarCraft players are a pretty uncreative bunch, but we're very egotistic. And when we see a strategy we haven't seen before, we assume it's bad. Pro gamers haven't done it. Therefore, if we take any damage to it or lose any advantages, we immediately have this like voice in the back of our head that says, you're fucking terrible at this game. You're losing to someone who's trolling you, you shithead. And right now, I think Humble's hearing that voice. He's like, have we lost 9 SCVs to fucking Viking drops? And you can already see his ego is just there and he's like, panic! Are we fucking losing to a Viking drop? Another Viking drop's gonna hit from the other side. Flies right into the missile turret there. That's gonna get absolutely savaged. Not a very good one. That one does get ravaged. Oh my god, look at this hero Viking. He's like, come at me one at a time. The Marines, unfortunately for him, do know how to stutter step. This drop going into the main base, gonna start to massacre, but that medevac's very low. He's gonna have to go very far around the south to avoid. No, he's gonna fly straight into the turret. Oh no. But oh my god, up to 23 workers killed. Holy shit. The Marines are taking so long to react. Humble, his ego's out of control. He's like, I can't believe I'm losing. I can't believe it. Ah! He's starting to scream internally. He feels his ego fucking just panicking. He's actually still ahead because he's got 3 command centers. The problem is, he's too busy worrying about the fact that he's losing to landed Vikings. Meanwhile, Saligi's just there like, I'm fucking killing shit with Viking drops. This is the sickest. Like, seriously, you've got nothing on the line. Your ego gives no fucks if you lose this game as Saligi. You're like, I was massing Viking drops. Like, I literally have nothing to lose. Meanwhile, Humble's entire fucking identity as a good StarCraft player is on the line. He's like, I win macro games. I sometimes have a spending quotient of a GM level. It said so on my SC2 replay stats program that I run. I've practiced my macro cycles. I've studied day 9 videos. I understand how to play StarCraft at a high level. How can I lose to fucking Viking drops? Still has 3 bases up. Is still actually not that far behind. Has some sick upgrades on the way and stuff. But let's see if Humble can maintain the calmness needed to not shit the bed and lose this game. Is down a little bit in supply, has gone for a planetary on the 3rd, and a couple of landed Vikings and a Reaper at home. Very nice. Who just scanned? Humble just scanned and saw an empty 3rd base. And is like, you don't even have a 3rd. Maybe I'm okay. Maybe. +2 air weapons is on the way. We've got Liberator adding in there. A couple of libs, actually. Oh my god, are we going to see Vikings land and then libs siege up with them? I don't know if I can be any more erect, guys. Holy shit, like, I'm just... Oh, no. Okay, he's going to go harass with the libs separate bases. That's also pretty awesome. I was just going to say, if he, like, lands Vikings in the corner, sieges the area with libs to get the killer Marines when they come, that would just be so arousing. But it looks like the libs are going to hit different bases. At the same time, Humble coming across the map, both armies missing each other. There's fucking nothing at home for Saligi. Oh god, Saligi's gonna hit first. Hopefully he doesn't fly into turrets. Oh, there's too many turrets. That Liberator's gonna go down. That Liberator, though, completely avoiding the turret. So that one goes down. We've got Vikings coming. There's a planetary. This Liberator, though, starting to rack up the kills. The panic. Humble's army not going in. Vikings trying to fight a planetary. No. You've got to repair, Humble. You've got to repair. He's hot picking up the Vikings. Vikings landed, just killed a planetary fortress. I didn't think in 2019 I'd still be ticking off things I'd never seen before in StarCraft, but I think I just saw something brand fucking new. Holy shit. Unfortunately, the Liberator does headbutt itself to its doom. These Marines doing a friggin' sick job getting nice damage done. The medevacs are being cleaned up. That Liberator on 12 kills, completely denying the base. This is the only base mining right now for Humble, but Humble's in the main mineral line, and this is all of Saliji's production. The Lib's gonna take out the tank. No, the tank barely unsieges and escapes. The SCVs try to fight. The Marines only have one medevac, and it's not healing right now. If Saliji can siege that Lib forward, maybe land a few Vikings, there's a chance here, but the Vikings decide instead to sacrifice themselves. I mean, it kind of worked because they baited a stim out, but there's more Marines, more tanks, more Vikings on the way. That Lib's going to edge forward. Oh, the Marines are going to come. They're going to try and take it down. They will be able to, but they are getting heavily, heavily damaged. But Saliji unable to rally together any defense. A few more Vikings coming out here. If Saliji can hang on, Saliji does have an extra command center, and it will be a reset scenario, but Saliji keeps engaging with just not quite enough units. You've got to recognize that you are using the fucking wet noodle of a ground composition in the landed Viking is going to go for the hot drop on the siege tank. Oh, Stim's run out, and they clicked on the starport. They're not fighting. Oh, the Vikings come in the back door, manage to take him out. A starport does go down, but there's still one reacted starport. A random siege tank and red hit point Marine come in, but the drilly boys say, get the fuck out of here, mate. And they are going to chase that down. That one Marine does get saved by Humble, but the Viking has something to say about it. One more shot is all that's needed, mate, and that medevac goes down. The dust settles. Both sides have been ravaged. We've got one orbital, a command center, a starport, and a factory for Saliji. Down here, Humble has a gigantic bioforce, but they've been stimmed, and they just stimmed. There's no medevacs. Oh my god. Guys! Drug addictions, I get it. Having a coffee in the morning is not a terrible thing. But when you start injecting heroin into your veins just to be like, oh, I feel like breaking my personal best on running from one side of King's Cove to the other. Yeah, I might just inject some fucking crack into my veins before I do it. And it's like, that's not a healthy long-term solution, mate. Don't do it. You don't got no medevacs. You're in some place with shitty healthcare, man. This is not the Swedish Terran fucking empire. This is the humble shit Terran healthcare empire. They're not gonna sort you out, man. There's no defense at home again, though, so I think Saliji still might be fucked. Another stim. These units are barely hanging on. They're itching at their arms. They can barely find a vein. They do manage to still take out that command center, do some good damage, though. Both sides getting ravaged. Two Vikings decide to pick a fight with 16 Marines, 2 Marauders. Not sure if that's advisable, Saliji. I think you might want to build a siege tank and hold the high ground. Okay, builds a siege tank. That's good. Command Center's gonna go for the run. Another stim! Holy fuck, Humble! Has anyone taught you about addiction? God damn, we need to improve our Terran education system. Oh, the Vikings on the high ground, one-shotting a whole pack of Marines. Vikings coming forward there for Humble as well. The Viking relands. It does have a range advantage, but it does end up going down there. But the Marines heavily wounded. We've got one command center here, only one SCV. It looks like Saliji unable, I think, to win this game. So fucking close, though. Humble almost died to fucking Vikings. Viking medevac was the composition here. Saliji, hold the high ground. Don't stop. Keeps landing in front of the bio. There's a tank. Siege the tank. Raise the depots. Saliji! I just want to see you kill these Marines. Even if you've lost the war, at least win the battle. Doesn't have taken it. Unsiege, unsiege, unsiege. The medevac does go down. The Vikings, of course, cannot land on that. And Saliji's still got 1,000 minerals, but with only one command center. And yeah, it has to build a barracks just to make an orbital. The tank's like, I'm going to counterattack. The Vikings are like, you know we can just land and kill your shit now, right? The tank's like, I was just pretending. I'm actually just waiting for you to land so I can shoot you. The Vikings are like, well, we're not going to land until you leave. The tank's like, I guess we're in a Mexican standoff then, aren't we? And the Vikings are like, yeah, except we actually have an economy behind this. We're mining and building more Marines. So, I mean, really, we're just waiting to stamp your ticket to Dicktown. That's all we're waiting for at this point. The siege tank's like, I'm not going to Dicktown. I'm not going back. I've been there before. Oh, no! Fucking, you're not going to make me do it! No! Saliji fought hard, fought long. But no matter how long dick your Viking drop is, even Tyrone would not be able to make that one happen. Saliji, GG, well played, dude. That was fucking close, man. if the Vikings consolidated a little bit better on the defense, I reckon he could have even done it. But unfortunately, the Lib went in a bit too hard and fast. The Vikings went in a little bit too close. That was still an incredibly close game. And that was like an epic troll strat, okay? Before we were talking in game 1 of this week's ICYFAR about how it wasn't quite a Harold and Maude 70-year-old woman, 18-year-old boy couple. The Banshee Widowmine in that game was like, hey, yeah, I mean, okay, like, he's a bit older, she's a bit younger, technically could be her father. This one, though, landed Vikings and medevacs. That's like some weird shit. That's like not just, is it an older man? I'm talking like 86-year-old man, but it's not even a human. It's a fucking sapling. That's like the medevac is the old man that's like, I'll take care of you, honey. And then the fucking partner in love is a fucking tree. And he's like, everyone's like, that's weird. Why are you carrying a pot plant around? Are you kissing the pot plant? What the fuck's happening? What reality do I live in? Why are there landed Vikings dropping out of medevacs and killing my mineral line? That's what Humble had going through his brain that whole game. He thought it was very inappropriate. He's made a complaint to Blizzard about inappropriate coupling in the game and how he definitely doesn't want to see what the fuck. Can you guys imagine if a medevac and a Viking actually bred? What even comes out of that? Does it differ if they mate when the Vikings in landed form or flying form? What even comes out? I don't know. I don't want to find out. I do want to find out what happens if a Thor and a siege tank mate, though. I feel like that's just how the Odin was born. They just had a big orgy with a bunch of regular Thors and siege tanks, and a fucking Odin popped out and was like, yeah, I'm basically a Thor with 16 siege tanks on top of it. And you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. GG, well played. Thank you very much to Leegi for that beautiful Viking drop harass game. Much love, mate.